Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well, and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my esteemed subscribers. You are all loved, celebrated, and appreciated. So it's been in the news that the Russian troops have officially landed in Burkina Faso, and there have been this sense of relief, sense of joy in the air, and people are like, oh, that's good. You know, I keep saying this, that Ibrahim knows what he wants and he knows how to go for it, all right? Now, it's been rumored, and I believe it was in the news, but not the mainstream media, that France, up until today, up until this point that I'm talking to you, have not let Niger alone. And I believe same with Burkina Faso and Mali and Guinea. Now they tell you there, they acted like they have packed themselves out, but they are still present in all these Sahel countries that are asking for liberation from these people. They are still present there in the disguise of terrorists, Your Majesties. These are people who claim that they are going around the world for peace. These are people, these are bodies, these are government bodies who claim that they are moving around African countries so that African countries can have peace of mind. They want to go and deal with the terror. Who created terrorists in the first place? Why are they terrorists down the Sahel in the first place? And why is it that the terrorists are refusing to leave up until this time? When the French army, the American army were still down the Sahel, when I say Sahel, I mean the Burkina Faso, I mean Niger, I mean Mali, I mean Guinea. Alright? When they were still there in these Sahel countries, terrorists of all types, of all kinds, still happens. Things were still going on. So who is the inventor of all this terrorist group? Last time we heard that the Boko Haram in Nigeria are the doings of the French government. Boko Haram presence in Nigeria, Boko Haram, they have support from the French government. What is the fault of Ibrahim Traore? What is the fault of the military leaders of Niger? What's the fault of the leaders of this Sahel? That they want peace for their people, they want stability for their people. That is the only crime that these people have committed. The only crime that Ibrahim Traore and the leaders of the Sahel commit is to seek for peace and growth of their countries. This is the only crime. This is the only crime. All right, let's listen to this and we'll take it off from there.
24, Russia bolstered its military presence in the Sahel region by deploying troops to Burkina Faso. Approximately 100 Russian soldiers have landed in Ouagadougou, initiating the deployment of a 300-member force. Their objectives encompass safeguarding Captain Ibrahim Traore, conducting patrols in high-risk zones, and delivering training to Burkinabe military personnel. The arrival of the initial group of 100 Russian soldiers in Burkina Faso marks the beginning of their deployment, as announced by Africa Corps, the recently formed Russian military unit succeeding the paramilitary group Wagner. This announcement was made via their Telegram channel. Operating directly under the Ministry of Defense, the Africa Corps embodies Russia's new strategy for its military presence in Africa. Its objective is to differentiate itself from the Wagner group, led by Evgeny Prigozhin, until his death in August 2023, during a failed rebellion against the Kremlin. The arrival of 100 Russian soldiers in Ouagadougou marks the beginning of a 300-member force assigned with the explicit duty of safeguarding Captain Ibrahim Traore, the transitional president of Burkina Faso and leader of the September 30th, 2022 coup, along with the Burkinabe citizens, as emphasized by Africa Corps. The Africa Initiative has also released images showing the arrival of Russian troops and military aircraft in Ouagadougou. This underscores Russia's increased military footprint and influence in the Sahel region, where Russian forces are already deployed in Mali. This action indicates an increased military presence and influence from Russia in the Sahel region, where Russian troops are already positioned in Mali. In September, Captain Ibrahim Traore personally welcomed a Russian delegation led by Deputy Defense Minister Yonas Bekiev-Kurov. About a month later, the Burkinabe government disclosed the signing of numerous cooperation agreements with Russia across diverse sectors such as security, defense, humanitarian efforts, energy, and nuclear initiatives. Following this, in November, Burkinabe Defense Minister Colonel Kasum Koulibaly visited Moscow to meet with his Russian counterpart Sergei Shoigu. Let's pray for peace in the Sahel region, including Burkina Faso.
Leaked reports suggest that Emmanuel Macron attempted to bribe General Abdourahmane Tiani with a whooping sum of 60 billion CFA francs, roughly equating to 100 million US dollars, to relinquish his fight after the military coup of July 26, 2023. These reports were disclosed by a local Nigerian news outlet named Le Monde d'Aujourd'hui. It is a well-known fact that many African leaders can be easily bought with money, and General Tiani was thought to be no exception. These leaders are willing to compromise the future of their countries for a few crumbs, while powerful nations like France exploit them for their own benefit. 100 dollars may seem like a significant sum, but it pales in comparison to the valuable resources such as uranium, gold, and oil that France has taken from African nations like Niger for years. It is clear that Macron's offer to General Tiani is insignificant, especially since the general probably doesn't have foreign bank accounts. This is why it is imperative that we abolish the CFA franc, as France can print as much money as they need to bribe African leaders. It is no surprise, then, that there is no true opposition in Francophone countries. All opposition groups are funded by the same French government that seeks to control African resources. I would like to extend my utmost appreciation towards General Abdourahmane Tiani for his remarkable vision of upholding our fight for sovereignty and true independence in the face of personal gains. As it is rightly said, the greatest want of the world is the want of men, men who will not be bought or sold, men who are true and honest in their inmost souls, men who do not fear to call sin by its right name, men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole, men who will stand for the right though the heavens fall. Hence, General Tiani's unwavering commitment to our cause shall always be remembered and valued. It is clear that France has recognized that its colonial presence in Africa is no longer sustainable. However,
all right, Majesties, we have heard all that, and you know, it's not just for the terrorist group. We have always also heard, we've also heard before now that there have been threats on Ibrahim Traore's life, and this threat was orchestrated by the French government, by France, and they were accused of this thing, and I didn't see them come out to say, oh, this is false accusation, we are not part of it. They decided to be silent. They never made any comments about that. I don't know if they did make a comment about that. They've tried everything possible to take out this guy's life. Like, to them, this man is trying to frustrate their, to suppress what they get from the Sahel, and they were really not ready for it. They tried using his own right-hand man, all right? They tried using his soldiers, all right? They tried using other means. And later, they started saying that Ibrahim Traore is... it was going round that Ibrahim Traore is a tyrant, is a leader that does not listen to his people, is not there because he wants to serve his people, he's there because of what he's getting from Burkina Faso, and they were trying to rubbish the effort of this man. And that's the worst that can happen to anybody, because when a good name is spoiled, it's difficult to repair. This is exactly what the French government were trying to do, but it didn't work. All thanks to our ancestors, all thanks to the creator of the universe, it didn't work. And so, Traore felt that letting in these Russians is the best option right now, because Russia and the French government are enemies. Russia and the American government are enemies. That sometimes you just have to use the enemy of your enemy to just, try to save your head for the time being. I think that's a strategy that Ibrahim Traore is putting in, and we hope that the Sahel becomes safe again. We hope that they are allowed to grow and develop and unleash their potentials, and we believe that that is going to happen if we support the Sahel. If we support the Sahel. It was also said that ECOWAS have lifted the sanction against Niger and the Sahel governments. Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea. They've lifted the sanction because, of course, they sanctioned them. And why would ECOWAS sanction the Sahel countries that are agitating for peace and to cut off on colonial masters? All this is still tied to the French government, American government, and all thanks to the puppet leaders we have in the ECOWAS. This was how this was done. But now, ECOWAS have seen that it's not working. And so they lifted the ban, and recently the border between Nigeria and Niger, I think they've opened the border because the border was closed for all those times. Look, we are in a continent and we're allowing the enemy to come manipulate us. Alright? To come manipulate us, to come make us hate on each other, to fight each other. So that we sit back and laugh and clap their hands and throw legs up on top of our heads. Anyway, I just hope we see the truth behind all these things and realize what we are, discover ourselves, our potentials, know that we are the only one that got our backs as 9 ether beings. We are the only ones that can look out for ourselves. Nobody else will, because every other forces is working for our downfall. I'll see you in my next one, Your Majesties. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive always. Bye for now.